Hello friends, welcome back. It is May 2nd and my garden is starting to flourish, and all of the things that I've planted in the spring are now coming to life, and we are ready to start gardening here in Zone 7A. Today I want to give you a full tour of the garden, and hopefully the rain holds up. We've been having a lot of rain recently, and that is great because we had a little bit of a drought before this rain came. So I'm pretty happy about it. We had 3 consecutive days now of full rain, and the ground is nice and wet. And that is great because the plants love the rain more so than your city water. The front lawn garden is starting to look luscious and green. You can see I have a huge rhubarb plant growing here. And then in these 2 boxes, I am planning to grow a lot of food and a lot of flowers and beauty for the neighbors. So I have some romaine lettuce growing right now. But in the future, I will have some marigolds growing at the front. I have some Jamaican sorrel that is going to grow up over here at the front. And then I have a bunch of flowers like gladiolas that are going to be in the back. And intermingle in here, I also have some sunflowers that are going to grow. So look at how beautiful this looks right now. All along here, I like to plant flowers as well. I have some butterfly bush right here. I also have some Jamaican hibiscus, and then I also have a bunch of flowers that are already coming in. Check out this bachelor's button right here. This is beautiful. These are the spring flowers, but I also have zinnias that I planted from seed, and I also have sunflowers that I planted from seed in here. The artichoke that I had there last year did not come back this year, but 2 out of 5 survived. So I have one that survived right here and another one right next to it. So these 2 should produce artichokes this year. And right back there I have some leeks growing right now and some garlic. In this bed right here I have some garlic growing. The garlic is doing this weird thing where it's splitting. So I think the garlic crop from here is not going to be too good, but I have a second patch right back there, so hopefully I'll have some back there. The onions are doing quite well. These are happy right now. Check out how green and luscious they look. And in between that I have planted some cilantro. Hopefully I get a little bit more of a cilantro crop. It's been really hard to get it to grow this year because it was really hot when I planted it, so a lot of my cilantro bolted as soon as I planted that into the ground, but these seem to be doing okay. So hopefully I'll get some cilantro from here. In this bed right here, I have already placed my tomatoes into the ground. So this one has tomatoes, that one has tomatoes, that one and this one all have tomatoes. The tomatoes are doing great. I planted them about a week ago. We have had cold nights in the 40s, but they don't mind 40-degree weather. They would do better if it was warmer, but that's all right. These are in the ground and there is no frost in the forecast, and we are May 2nd, so I think we have made it. In these 2 beds here, I have these 2 brassicas that are volunteers. I had broccoli and cabbages growing here last year. Some of them bloomed and produced some seeds. So these are volunteers, and I don't know what they are, but they look so beautiful and luscious that I'm gonna let them grow in between the tomatoes for now. Hopefully I'll get a crop from them, and if I don't get a crop from them, I'll still can eat these leaves, and the leaves are tasty. This bed right here has some garlic, and this garlic is really looking nice. Also from last year, but this must have been from a different farmer. I got my seed garlic last year from the farmer's market, and I bought it from 2 different farmers. So this one is the better crop out of the 2. So I will be saving seeds from this one this year because this one is nice and big and it survived the winter without any problems. Right back here I have a whole bed of onions. These are bulbing onions, the ones that get round and big, the typical onion. And in between that I have this lovage. This plant I think is called lovage. I think it's pretty much related to celery, and it tastes pretty much like it too. But somebody said that in Asian cuisine they eat it with some beef and it's supposed to be really good. I tried it the other day and I didn't really like the flavor, so I'm hoping that I like it once it's cooked. In this same bed I have my pomegranate tree, and some of it is not coming back and some of it is coming back. Only one branch is coming back. This branch is dead and I don't think it's going to come back to life, but the branch next to it, it's coming back. So I think this will be fine. It can always come back from the roots as well. So I'm just giving it a little bit more time, and once I figure out this one's not coming back, I'll trim it back, and hopefully this one on the side here is enough for it to produce at least 1 or 2 flowers, I hope. I haven't decided what I'll plant in these 2 beds. I have a huge lavender plant here now. It's getting ready to bloom. It has a little bit of the blooms right there. Once it blooms, I will dig it out and put it in the backyard because I want to grow squash plants here and maybe more peppers. This bed right here, I have some chives, and check out the blooms on these chives. These are amazing. I've been digging some of them out and then transplanted them into the backyard because I want to propagate them. This bed right here has another pomegranate tree, and this one, all of it is coming back nice and green. I have some lettuce in between here, and these are volunteers. Check it out, it's growing outside of the bed, but I've just been harvesting these and then eating them. It's no problem, they can grow and you can eat them. And check out this beautiful surprise right here. These are my sugar snap peas, and they are already blooming. They're not using the trellis that I kind of wanted to give them here, but that's okay. Hopefully I'll get some eventually. And check this out right over here. I have some mushrooms growing here. This is a wine cup mushroom, and I put the spores into the wood chips 2 years ago, and now every time it rains I get wine cup mushrooms. This one's past its prime, but this one right here is nice and tasty and it's totally edible. Now I want to show you the grape arbor. The grapevine, it looks like it's going to have a good year. It is loaded in these little blooms, and they are everywhere this year. So I'm hopeful that this year I'll get a substantial crops of grapes. Here they are. These are Concord grapes. They were supposed to be seedless, but last year I ate 2 of them that I got, and they had seeds in them, which is okay. That's okay if they have seeds. I prefer no seeds, but that's all right. The blackberry vine I have intermingled with this grapevine, and it is also getting loaded in blooms. Check out this little bloom right here. I have another one right here. I have blooms on every single tip of this plant. So this year is going to be the year of the blackberry. Right over here I have more blackberries and another grapevine. And on this raised beds I planted all of my pepper plants almost 2 weeks ago, and check them out. They are doing quite fine. I never did cover them because the weather never got too cold for them, and they are growing happily now. Hopefully as the weather warms they start getting bigger and mature, and we'll have peppers before June gets here. Check out my baby pawpaw tree. My baby pawpaw tree is doing well this year. It's coming back and it's looking quite happy. I have elderberries, a lot of elderberry blossoms this year. Maybe I'll make another elderberry champagne this year because last year's is gone. Check out that crow. The pawpaw tree back here is getting nice and tall. This one now is probably 8 foot tall. This whole bed right here is new and it's loaded with potatoes. Those were planted first, and then I have other rows of potatoes that haven't come up just yet. On this bed over here, I have some broccolis that I put into the ground when I planted the peppers, and they are very happy right now. And right back here, check out my row of cool weather crops. The Napa cabbage is starting to form a head, and I am so excited because my plan is to make kimchi with all of these guys right here. And hopefully I'll be able to save them long enough so that when the peppers are ready, I can make it with my own peppers as well. And check out the row of spinach interplanted with radishes. Then I have some broccolis. I have radishes in here. I don't know, these guys are getting a little lanky now and about to start blooming. So maybe I'll just eat the tops as radish greens. I also have spinach in here. Check out this beautiful spinach. There's something eating it. Not sure what this is, but this looks like a leaf miner is in here. So it looks like we have a problem in here. Usually it's not an issue. I just come and harvest the ones here that are affected, throw them to the side, and then the new ones usually don't have an issue. What do we have going on here? We have a fight with the sparrows. Look. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right back here, I am trying to grow all of my hardy kiwi this year. And the hardy kiwi, I had to move it, but now it's putting on some flowers. So I'm pretty happy about those. Look at here. I have some baby little flowers. So hopefully we'll get a lot of flowers this year. My banana plants actually are coming back to life already, and they have big leaves on them. I'm so happy about these. I covered them really well with a lot of leaf litter last year, and now they're coming back earlier than ever. And hopefully one of these will get to put out a flower. I'm very hopeful. The flowers are edible, but the fruit that it makes is pretty small, and I've heard it's not really all that edible, but we'll try it anyways. We'll see what it tastes like. The green raised beds are doing really well. I have some peas growing in here, and they are starting to put out flowers too, right over here. And hopefully I'll have peas this year, because I haven't had peas in like 3 years. 3 years in a row I planted peas and I haven't been able to get any production out of them. But I think I timed it just right this year, and they are growing very happily, and hopefully they'll produce a ton of peas. I started breaking down the leaf compost pile. This thing is really hard and a lot of work, and I have been moving it around the yard, and hopefully it will decompose and provide a lot of nutrition for my vegetables and my blueberries and everything that I have growing. Here are my other banana plants. They are doing happy. That one's super big, and I think that one will definitely put out a flower bloom this year. I'm crossing my fingers. Check out this beautiful tree right here. This is the persimmon tree. I bought this last year and I planted it into the ground, and this year it's gonna give me some persimmons. Here are the flowers starting to form. Right over here I have my peach tree, and I'm starting to think my peach tree is a nectarine because it does not have any fuzz. You see this right here? There's no fuzz, so I'm starting to think it is a nectarine and not a peach. But check out how much fruit this tree is holding this year. It is loaded, and I hope that it keeps most of them on. If it doesn't, if it starts dropping them, that's okay too, because you don't want this many peaches or this many nectarines on your tree. I think this is way too much. But there's something called summer drop, I've heard, and they naturally drop the ones that it cannot hold. So I'm hopeful that the tree does that on its own, because I'm not gonna find the heart to start thinning it out. And check out underneath the tree, I am growing potatoes in my buckets. And this year I'm gonna be eating a lot of potatoes. Do you see all these white buckets? These are all potatoes. These are huge. The leaves are huge already, and they are growing on unfinished compost, and I think they are really loving that because the leaves are just enormous. This is a little peach tree that I planted from a seed. This little peach tree I planted from a seed. I started the seed myself, and it's been growing here for about 10 months or so, and it's already 5 foot tall. I topped it off right here, and it has grown about 20 inches so far this year, and it has only been growing for about 2 months now. So this thing is gonna get huge if I don't maintain it. Check out this little tree right here. It is a chestnut tree, and it's putting out some flowers. Unfortunately, the partner that it had died, so there's going to be no cross-pollination, and you need it, and you need cross-pollination in order for the fruits or the nuts to form. So this year I don't think I'm going to get any chestnuts from it, but right over there I have planted a little replacement, so hopefully in a few years that one will start producing flowers as well, and they can cross-pollinate with this one. Look how luscious my Asian pear is. It is getting so big now, and it only has like 3 pears in it this year, but I'm not sure if it's going to be able to keep them. That's okay. I'm hoping to grow the trees out quite big, and once they get big they'll be able to hold the fruit. Here is a baby pear, so tiny. I hope that it survives so I can taste it. This tree right here has not grown very much in 2 years. This is a European pear, and I can see that we're starting to get an issue here. There's aphids on the tops, so hopefully the ladybugs come in soon. I am pretty much just gonna let nature run its course. I think if I see an issue with the aphids, I'm just gonna spray it with water. I do not like buying ladybugs. I do not support buying ladybugs. It's just, nature should be able to take care of itself, so I can help it a little bit, but those ladybugs, they are farmed and shipped, and I don't want to be doing that to the ladybugs. Here are more potatoes, lots of potatoes, and check out my gala apple. This year I have a few apples that were pollinated, and here's one gala apple, well, a baby gala apple. Here's another apple that is growing. Haha. Last year this one had like 4 apples, but the squirrels ate them, so I think I better go and buy my net for it already and put nets on this trees so that I can eat some of these fruits. Cherry tree is looking quite nice. The mulberry tree put out flowers, but they were not pollinated, so I think I'm gonna chop it down. And I have a mulberry, I have a Pakistani mulberry that I'm gonna replace it with, because this one is not producing anything. Check out how the greenhouse is doing. The greenhouse, it's about to transition from the cool weather crops to the hot summer item crops. So you can see I have been taking stuff out of here and putting in the new things. So I brought my taro in here, and the taro is looking good. It's appreciating the extra heat. And then I have my pepper plant over there. I have pepper plants, tomato, and it looks like something has been digging right over there. The squirrels are starting to come in here and mess with things. I even have strawberries in this already because it's under the greenhouse. It started putting out flowers very early on, and this strawberry over here is going to be ready soon. It's starting to turn color a little bit from green to white, and then they go to pink and then red. The radish bed is doing amazing. Check out how beautiful these radishes are in here, and I think I need to pull them out and replace them with some hot summer crops, because the tomatoes are loving it in here and they are putting out flowers already. So hopefully if I replace all of these with tomatoes and peppers, I can get a really early crop of my summer heat loving plants. Spinach is starting to bolt in here. In fact, the first crop that I had in here, most of it has been harvested already, but I'm just letting a few more of these leaves produce, get a little larger, then I'll eat them, yank them out, and put in some peppers. I brought my potted peppers in here too. to give them a little extra heat. And these are interplanted with some basil, and hopefully very soon they'll start growing. I even see a little flower bud right there, so hopefully it'll start putting out flowers soon. This is amazing. This is the first pea of the season. Check out how nice it is. I have another one right here. I'm so excited because in previous years I haven't gotten a crop, but I even see another one right back there. This is amazing. I'm gonna have them very soon. I have an eggplant growing in that pot, and I want to put another eggplant in this one, but I haven't done so yet. I hope that you like this walking tour. Maybe next time I'll get my wife to do the camera work and I'll be in front of the camera. I have been very busy in the garden doing a lot of work, preparing all the beds for the summer crops. So hopefully in the next few days I'll get to plant out the rest of the peppers, and very soon I'll start planting out my summer squash, my corn, and all the other delicious things that we eat during the summer months. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you on the next one.